Now, there are many crops, and those crops are grown in particular type of temperature and period. So based on that, the crops are divided into two main categories. Those are Rabi crop and Kharif crops. Now come to Kharif crops first. So Kharif crops are those crops which are grown from June to October. It means these are the crops which can be cultivated in June and harvested in the month of October. So some examples of Kharif crops are paddy, soybean, pigeon pea, maize, cotton, green gram and black gram. Now come to Rabi crops. Rabi crops are also known as winter crops. So these are the crops which can be cultivated in the month of November and harvested in the month of April. Harvested. Some common examples of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, peas, mustard, linseed. Now in this image, we can find various types of crops which are classified as Kharif and Rabi crops. Kharif crops, some common examples are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra. Rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas and gram. There are many other crops also. Now, come to the practices involved in farming. In farming, various types of practices are involved. Those practices are, number one, choice of seeds for planting. The choice of seeds plays a very important role in the production of the offspring variety. If the seeds are of good quality, then the offspring or the produced plant variety will definitely of the very good quality. Now, nurturing of the crop plants. The crop plants are nurtured in a way to provide them proper manure, fertilizers if required, fertilizers like NPK fertilizers, nitrogen, potassium, like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Fertilizers can be switched to the manure and compost, where some biodegradable substances can be collected and put all these collected waste in a composite bin, where they can be allowed to get degraded for some time, and after that the compost can be formed, and that compost is rich in various types of nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So it can replace the fertilizers which can actually cause damage to the crops after some time or after regular practices of their usage. Because after 5-6 times of repeatedly usage of fertilizers may damage the crop varieties and even if can damage the soil fertility. Next is protection of the growing and harvested crops from loss. So, the production of the good variety of plants or crops to provide them good quality of the nutrients. So, they are of no use if we can't store such crops in a good situation or environment. What if some abiotic and biotic factors can disturb those crops? Abiotic factors are those factors which are non-living, and biotic are those factors which are living. In abiotic factors, we can consider the temperature, weather or climatic conditions. In biotic factors, we can consider as the rodents, mice, insects, pests, all the living beings from which our crops can be damaged.